How do you guys write?
I was just going to ask that.
I don't know. It comes in kind of all sorts of different ways. Like with South Park, we have a writer's room, which is me and Trey and 2 other people, or 3 other people. We've never had a big writer's room. And most of South Park is trying to come up with the funny take or the funny idea. Like what we don't do is like what a lot of writers' rooms do, which is like, okay, ugly girl has to go to the prom. Joke. Come on. Joke, guys. Joke. Where's the joke? We try to come up with a funny idea. A premise.
Mm-hmm.
And then hopefully funny scenes,
dialogue around,
quote unquote, write themselves, which they don't. But that's we actually, when people come to our writers' rooms, they're always surprised at kind of how rigorous I don't want to say like the mental part of it, but like we actually care about story and character and trying to come up with that, but also make it kind of weird and surreal too. And then let the jokes come out of that instead of like just coming up with one-liners.
Who's the one with the animation skills? I mean, it's not really animated.
Well, it's kind of neither of it. I mean, we it came out of like film school actually, because we met in film school, and those drawings Trey would do, and
you guys didn't meet as kids in Colorado?
Mm-mm.
I thought you were both from.
Well, we're both from Colorado, and we both met at University of Colorado, but we were in college.
I thought you guys were like high school buddies.
No, we're college buddies.
Oh, okay.
Animation at South Park's the only animated thing we've ever done. I mean, we were live action guys. Well, we were trying to do a pilot for a guy named Brian Graydon, who ran a little division of Fox back then, and he asked us to do a video Christmas card to send to his friends and business people. And so he gave us a little bit of money, and we went back to Colorado and made The Spirit of Christmas, and we didn't even put our names on it because we're just like, oh, this is just for Brian. And then, with
the characters from that eventually became South Park?
Yeah, it's kind of proto South Park, yeah. And then he sent it around. I think we gave it to him, and if you know The Spirit of Christmas, it's pretty raw.
Oh,
and he
it's
was
fantastic.
But
my
he was
jaw
also
hit the floor when I saw it.
Well, he was like, wow, I had no idea it was going to be this offensive. Thanks, but I'm only going to send it. He had a list of like 400 people he's going to send it to, and he sent it to just like 40 of them. And then from those 40 tapes, people started copying the tapes. And I don't know if it was the very first thing, but it was it was 95 or so. So I remember like Netscape had just come out, like the first real kind of browser.
Right.
And so in South Park, you can actually watch it, or Spirit of Christmas, at 6 frames a second, and it still kind of works. And I think it was one of the first things that the internet really helped.
Is it possible that had that not happened, that you had not been given the seed money to produce this piece, that there would be no South Park, there would be no Trey Parker and Matt Stone?
No, we wouldn't exist. We'd be dead. No. It's totally possible. That's just one of those things.
Right.
That's the way that Hollywood works. You don't, in Hollywood and doing creative stuff works, you don't know what is going to be the thing. You just keep doing stuff.
And the only way you can ever break through is to just be yourself and express yourself.
Yeah, we're just really offensive people by nature.
Fantastic.
We don't really try.
And everybody loves you for that.
Yeah, luckily, enough people do. So.
I go out every night and sleep all day.
Isn't that fantastic?
11:39 on Talk Radio 790. Mr. KABC, April Winchell. Matt Stone is here from South Park.
Vienna Boys Choir doing a little Sinead O'Connor. and you can hear the accent. Weird. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Did they have to shave their heads to do this performance?
They had to do a lot of things.
I wonder if they know what all the lyrics of this song mean.
Well, you can hear that they were all like, they have the accent, the 6:50 now since you went away. That's all phonetic. They have no idea what they're saying.
That's My Bush. What was That's My Bush?
Oh, fantastic.
What was that? What was that?
Oh, it was great.
It's actually coming out on DVD this year, too, which is kind of cool. That's My Bush was this really insane idea we had for a sitcom that was it was either going to be a sitcom about whoever the sitting president was. So it was either going to be That's My Bush or Absolutely Al, I think we're going to call it. And this is in the Gore Bush,
right?
And so because that was the 2000 election, and so when it got screwed up and pushed back, we were in production. I mean, we had a team of writers and we had set builders, and we were building an Oval Office, and we were ready to just find out who the president was. And the idea was originally, I can't remember if we were going to make it. We were going to be close to having shows on the air, like right around the inauguration. So whoever the new president would be inaugurated, and then that sitcom would be on like that week of their family life. And it was much more about like a kind of a parody of sitcoms, much more than a political kind of thing. And so we ended up doing this silly show called That's My Bush was just one of the weirder shows.
I've heard you guys. I did hear one time. This quote is stuck in my head about your politics because people always wonder whenever someone's involved in comedy, what is the political bent of the person that's doing it? And I heard you guys. You can tell me if I've mischaracterized or incorrectly paraphrased, but you guys said you don't like conservatives, but you hate liberals.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. I guess it's a new way to, it's a new way to kind of word that lesser of two evils kind of thing. I mean,
because you can't really. In fact, I had a conversation. I told someone who's very, very ultra conservative that you were coming on the show, and she was thrilled. She was like really excited that you were going to be on the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, conservatives are starving for something that's like a little bit conservative coming out of Hollywood. I think sometimes, and they're a little bit, too quick to jump on South Park and say, well, this is a conservative show.
Right.
And we have done things like, taking Rob Reiner to task for his smoking stuff and like had fun with that stuff. And everyone's just like, what? Like you're doing a show making fun of Rob Reiner? And that just fills conservatives with glee. But I don't know if they pay attention to all the 40 other shows we've done that have ripped on conservatives. So
right, you're kind of equal opportunity offenders politically. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are your politics?
I mean, it's probably bled through in the show. I mean, it's like we will change the politics of a show to service a story too. A lot of the points of the shows aren't necessarily something that we agree with, but it's probably bled through that. I think libertarian probably characterizes the show.
Because Team America,
my personal politics probably sway that way.
But Team America may be one of those things that if you're a conservative, you'll see conservative things in there, and if you're a liberal, you'll see liberal things in there.
That's exactly the way it works.
Yeah.
I mean, we have liberals come up to us all the time and say, "Thanks for taking it the Republicans."
Well, that's kind of the message I got from it, actually.
Yeah, and then a lot of people who are Republicans go like, "Finally, a show for me." And it's like, okay, great, whatever, that's fine.
Could you do as a series on television one with puppets, or is that just too intensive? It's just too...
The production is just too hard. I mean, the show that we based Team America on was Thunderbirds, the old British show. And if you watch Thunderbirds, nothing happens at all. And they just, sit there and look at the camera and talk, and it's super slow, and they reuse shots all the time. I mean, that's why, when the Thunderbirds take off to go do something, they show the same, 2.5 minute sequence every time because they need to fill minutes.
Right.
The production of that movie was, one of the hardest thing I've ever done. It was really, really hard. Yeah.
Because it's hard to get puppets to move, or it's...
I don't know why we were I don't know what we were thinking, because when we started doing it, we were like, oh, well, puppets, and in our minds, we were always picturing a Bruckheimer movie with puppets.
Which is what it is, yeah.
Which is what Bruckheimer movies are anyway. They're just done like crappy actors. But it did turn out that way, but you were thinking, okay, now he's going to run around the corner and shoot and then grimace, and then but they can't grimace, they can't run. And then strings are breaking all over the place, and I can't, if you do get the DVD, there's a 30-minute kind of documentary on the making of it, and just watch that, and hopefully you'll understand the pain we were in. So it was a really tough production.
And we were talking about how quick the turnaround time is for the cartoons, like The Simpsons. I was talking to Harry Shearer on the show a couple months back, and he was talking about something that we did. It's just pure luck sometimes that the stories that they do on The Simpsons end up sounding timely.
Right.
When in fact it's just luck, because it's 9 months, 6 months, 9 months out.
Yeah, I think it's at least 9 months.
And you guys, it seems like it's just a matter of weeks, right?
Well, we turn around an episode in a week.
Wow.
We do it. We start an episode on Thursday morning, and it airs on Wednesday night. That Wednesday.
Wow.
So literally 6 days.
Wow. So you really can be timely with.
We really
news
can. Oh yeah. We've added jokes on.
Have you ever changed in the middle of a? Have you ever changed in the started out to produce something and then something topical has happened and you've?
All the time.
Yeah.
Like every other week, we'll start something and then drop it, and on Friday start a whole new show, or add a whole new storyline because something happens that sparks something. But it's a little bit misleading because The Simpsons does 26 episodes a year, and so each one takes 9 months, but they're working on 26 at once. I mean, it's a real industry over there. They have a lot of people. We have 60 people working for us at South Park now, which is quite a few.
Wow.
But that's not a fraction of what works on The Simpsons. And what I'm saying is we just do one at a time. They have teams and, many of them going at once. So at the end of the day, the same number of episodes get done in the same amount of time, kind of. So we just focus on one at a time. And, with the new technology with computers, you can just do that.
Is it computer animated or is it?
Yeah, it's computer animated using Maya, which is the same program that's used to, you know.
Now,
do
you're
big
not doing
Hollywood
any of
movies.
that stuff. You guys still voice it.
Yeah, I don't know anything. I look at the computer now, they're animating, I have no idea what's going on. It's so technical and beyond us now.